motherfucking pod.
So the word motherfucker is a noun. It describes a person, place, or thing.
But see, here's the thing. Peddling back to what you said earlier. Either way,
You're gonna stay fucking. You ain't gonna look.
you got to think about it. We come from an era. I'm 37 years old. Now, how old are you, boss man?
I'm 37.
You're 37. Okay, so I can basically say this. We came from an era where fucking was fun.
Hey, what? What you talking about?
Am I lying? We came from an era back in our day, 2003, 2006, around that time. Fucking was fun.
Okay.
It was fun. Because I'm going to tell you now, I was doing some plugging.
I don't know. Man, look, whatever young daughters, people's daughters that you was taking under your wing at that time.
But I stay strapped.
Hey, you heard him, ladies and gentlemen. EJ the DJ said his pullout game was tight. Look,
learn real quick.
I'm gonna say this, bro.
Real quick.
I'm gonna say this. You just gotta have some kind of common ground on this shit. That's all I'm saying. The lack of fucking respect. But moving on, man. That's enough to talk about that. Last up, Kevin Samuels. We haven't talked about it on this platform. We haven't talked about it on this platform. He has been rest in peace to him. He passed away about a little over a month ago, almost 2 months ago.
2 months ago.
So I kind of feel like he has definitely made people feel some kind of way. And the reason why I'm bringing him up, for those who might be rolling their eyes, is he started out like us, content creators that are doing what we're doing. Kevin Samuels wasn't a celebrity and nothing like that became famous and nothing like that. He was a YouTuber who had a platform, who grew that platform from the ground, and and talked about how the fuck he felt. And unfortunately, he made people feel a certain kind of way. Now that becomes a double-edged sword. People will respect you for it, and on the other spectrum, they will, not respect you for it because of their disbelief in what you're saying. You ain't gonna never please everybody. So that's my thing. You cannot be afraid to say what the fuck you want. What's based. I mean, obviously you got to be a little respectful in there somewhere, but respectfully, fuck your feelings. Respectfully, I say this, and this is what I think, and that's what he pretty much did. Now you can argue all day long about would you rather agree with what he said, or his belief system or whatever, but I think of it like this. I think there was a lot of truth in what he said, and a lot of times people only get mad when the truth hurts. You know what I'm saying? So
you just now figured that out?
No, I ain't just figured that out. I'm just saying, like, a lot of times people just, you know what I'm saying? It just that's the reality of it. And I think a lot of people out there that's not has realized that. And that's why they can't understand why they all up in their feelings. That's what I'm saying.
But see, that goes back to where I can ultimately say the reason why people did not like Kevin Samuels, because Kevin Samuels was the definition of a true no man.
What do you mean?
What's right and what's right, and what's wrong is wrong. Kevin Samuels was the type of content creator where he was more so telling people what they needed to hear and what they didn't want to hear versus what they want to hear. He did not, like you said, he did not care what came out of his mouth, and he didn't care if you didn't like it.
Nah.
But that was his opinion. In his mind, that was the truth. And a lot of times you end up going, after you listen to Kevin Samuels, going like, well, damn, where was the lie?
Yeah, he talked about a lot about high value men and women and stuff like that. And I'm not getting into that part.
No.
But what I will get into is the fact that at the end of the day, it came down to self-respect. People understanding what their value was, their value to themselves. You know, he was an image consultant, so he think about things based off of image. So, putting yourself as a presentable person, right? So I kind of
Right.
understand that part. Look, let's be real. If you don't think respect is one thing when it comes to image, go outside right now. Go outside right now and go dress up like a bum and walk around and do your daily activities. And do the
Oh,
same
please do.
exact thing, but actually dress up and make yourself in what you would say as presentable. And look at the difference that how people will treat you.
Please do it.
Look at the
Because
difference.
there's a lot of people that would, oh my God. You hit the nail on the head right there. See, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, they have them
Now, why
everywhere.
you putting a whole city? Go ahead. What you
Oh,
about?
I put two cities.
Yeah,
Baton
why you
Rouge
put my city in
and
it?
New Orleans.
What New Orleans do?
Because they full of them
Full of what?
that you will pass by on the street.
Right.
But the minute you see them dressed up,
Mm-hmm.
oh, well, look at you.
I'm just
Yeah.
all I'm saying is you'll notice a difference. I ain't saying you got to wear no suit, nothing like that. I'm just saying if you look presentable, you know what I'm saying? Actually wash your ass. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't wash their ass and shit. But
But see, but let me say this too. Going back to Kevin Samuels, I also want to say this because you touched on something about his content creating.
right.
See, with content, you have to understand this. We understood it a long time ago. We're going to create the content that's good for us. You can't let the audience dictate what you should be talking about as far as content wise.
I mean, you can and you can't. Depends on how you
I mean, you
depends,
can, you
depends on
can,
how
and
you
you
put your
can't, but at the
platform.
same time, people, right? But at the same time, people tune in to hear what you got to say.
Right.
People tune in to hear what you got to say. It's not the other way around. It's not. And if people don't like the content that you put out, fuck them. It's our content.
Absolutely.
Your radio dial in your car, go up and then go down. Turn your damn station. Quit listening to us.
Well, all I'm saying is that's how I look at it. I look at it from a respect part. Everything boils down to respect. Like, think about it, man. I mean, like if a person really holds you in high regard, people tend to give you a pass on certain things that they don't agree with you. You know what I'm saying? They might become passive. They might not speak up as loud when they don't agree with you, or they might be, they might say things in a more softer tone than versus somebody they don't agree with and be as loud as fuck with. You know what I'm saying? Like, or completely disrespectful. So, like, all I'm saying is respect. Respect is there until it is lost. And in some
Prime example.
cases you can't get it back from in some people's regard. What you saying?
Right. Prime example, motherfucking crew. Everybody knows, and I've said this a million times.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have friends. I have what, boss man?
Family.
Okay. This man is my brother. Y'all think we agree on everything? No.
Hell no.
But at the end of the day, that's still my brother.
Right.
Respect. I respect this man's mind. He respects mine. I'm not gonna bash him for it just because of the simple fact he don't view the same things I view. His mind is completely warped, different than mine, in case y'all haven't noticed. Completely different than mine.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. I am completely normal. People just can't adjust to my thinking.
And with that, moving along.
All right, well, look. All right. That's fair enough. But look, going back to Kevin Samuels though, he has a talking point that kind of has been a lightning rod when it comes to talking. And we got him up. And this is not part of news. We just talking in the main part of the show now. But Kevin Samuels has came out and has really he has put out content for people and said things that people were scared to say. That now people are willing to say more loudly. And then on the opposite end of that, there's opposition because look at all the women and some men that was on there too, but there was a lot of women that was just pissed the fuck off at this nigga for all the things that he was saying. It's kind of funny because like I said, it goes back to you can always tell when you strike a nerve with somebody because, or if it's somewhat true in their minds, of their own minds, when they get mad about it.
Oh my God, bro!
Look, the writing is on the wall, bro. Like you get mad, in a lot of cases, you have a reason behind that anger. You know what I'm saying? So, like, have some self-respect. A lot of times, a lot of these women don't have self-respect, and when I say everybody, and I ain't gonna just say women, all the people that have disrespected this man in his passing,
Please don't, because you're gonna start another argument.
A lot of them have. A lot of them don't have no self-respect. That's what it is. A lot of them don't have self-respect.
I'm not disagreeing you with that,
and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Hey, no, I'm gonna take it further. I'm gonna take it further because this is a motherfucking podcast, and I'm venting right now.
All right.
Some of y'all women, not saying all, but some of y'all women is making a lot of y'all look real bad.
Well, look, I will say this,
and that's all I'm gonna say. I didn't say all of y'all. I said some.
Well, look, you kind of bring up
some of y'all.
You bring up something that makes me come up to one more topic I want to talk about, and that is our culture as a general. And it kind of it'll go into the last part of the show, but Black culture in general. There's a lot of respect / disrespect towards our culture, right? And then a lot of people kind of dissect it and tell you what they determine what is the culture and what isn't. I'll say this. Take for instance a white rapper, right? There's nothing wrong with a white rapper, right? But as long as he's paying his dues the right way, by paying homage to the people that paved, and that's what I always believe. You should always pay homage to the people that paved the way for you to get to where you are now. And I ain't talking about just giving props to Eminem because you're the next white guy. What I'm saying is the people that was before Eminem, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't saying you got to be always mentioning them and always saying that good stuff. And I ain't talking about pandering either. But what I'm saying is don't be disrespectful towards it. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of bullshit when it comes to the culture. And what I'm getting at is as far as Black culture and rap culture is from Black culture. I would say, you know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't say Black culture and rap culture is the same thing because it's not. Can we agree on that?
Well,
would you say rap culture and Black culture is the same and one is equal of itself? I don't think.
Let me say this. Originally, it was supposed to be because it wasn't called rap; it was called hip hop.
Well, hip hop was call it right,
but what I'm saying is hip hop was our culture. It was our own Black culture. It was our own music that we could relate to. Mm-hmm. So in a sense, you could say it was supposed to be, but now because of quote unquote clout chasing, now it's kind of like That's where the disrespect comes in.
Yeah, there's a lot of clout chasing, and what I'm saying is you have a lot of people that will say, and this comes from black people, will say that black culture is trash.
Yes.
And
Our own people will say black culture is trash. What?
And I don't think that's true.
Yes.
I don't think that's true. I think that's a complete lie. That's false, and you just hate your own community. Now, do I think there is some bad things among the community? Yeah, no doubt. Like I look at it like a political. If you look at it in political stances, right? The Republicans and the Democrats, right? Both sides have the extreme weirdo sides of their parties, right?
Absolutely.
You got the Republicans, got the alt right, the Democrats got the extreme leftists. You know what I'm saying? Like there's both sides that have completely weird sides, but I can understand both sides, and I kind of
all
agree.
idiots.
I kind of agree with some things on both sides. But what I'll say this is you can't always stay in the middle on everything. You got to kind of pick and choose things. But without getting further into that, rap culture and black culture are not the same. They are not the same because black culture was around before rap culture or before hip hop.
I understand.
You know what I'm saying?
But what I'm getting was it. How can I put this? It was supposed to be intertwined. It was supposed to be together because, like you said, the rap culture was created out of black culture. Black culture existed first.
Correct.
So in a sense, it was supposed to be all about this, not this.
But when people say black culture is trash, what they're really trying to say is rap culture is trash. And in my opinion, I think that's what a lot of times people see what's on TV.
But you got to think about it from this, right?
People get influenced. People live in this fucking bubble and they think what they see on TV is what happened in everyday life for everybody, and that's not the case.
But here's the thing, though: rap culture was talking about what happened in black culture, wasn't it?
True.
That's what.
But it only came from one spectrum. Now,
right?
It only came from one small niche of the spectrum. Hip hop is only.
But it showed a world that this is what we was going through.
Hip hop is only one form of black culture, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, yeah, the struggle is also part of the everyday struggle of being a black person is part of the culture.
Right.
I think people misinterpret that shit to me, and I think that's the difference. You know, rap culture, yes, is a part of the culture. It is not the culture of itself, and I just think it's stupid to say. I think it's dumb for people to say that. That's my.
But here's the thing:
black culture is not trash.
It's not trash, but here's the thing: when there's money involved, and you got to cut others down in order for yourself to rise to the top,
right?
That's when it becomes trash,
right?
And that's with any culture.
I will say this: when our community comes together and we all respect one another, then we actually do get things done. We've seen it happen. We've seen it recently happening within the past 2 years. With the rise in people starting their own businesses, LLCs, protesting against
what's behind me?
What's that?
What's behind me right now?
The motherfucking pod.
We a prime example too.
Oh yeah, freedom of speech.
Black people coming together to create content.
Exactly. Hey, that's why we got.
In fact, any black podcaster out there, I'm shouting out all the black podcasters out there. If you have a platform behind you that you are using, you are part of black culture because you are starting your own business.
Right.
That's what it is.
Right. And what I'm saying is people need to understand and actually do their definition of what they think is culture. Do I think as a whole, I think a lot of it is that we've been brainwashed on both sides of the spectrum. And now you have people infighting within our culture. You have a lot of people that don't like rap culture, so therefore they call all of it bad. and that's not the case. Now,
It's not the case at all.
I also defend rap code. I also defend rap music to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? Like I can understand to a certain degree. I think you got to understand that to separate the two, you know what I'm saying, art from life. A lot of times motherfuckers can't do that. You know what I'm saying? And we seen a lot of it happening on social media. We see it happen on in everyday life, and we see it involved in more high profile things, like a lot of rappers getting shot. I talked about it early on about Soldier Slim when he got shot in New Orleans. Same thing with Big L when he got killed in Harlem. Tupac in LA, Biggie in LA. More recently, more rappers now. You know, Triple X got killed in Florida.
What was your boy that got killed in Memphis a while back too?
Oh yeah, Young Dolph getting killed in Memphis.
Young Dolph in his own hometown,
in front of the cookie store. Yeah, so yes, I get it. I can understand why people say it is trash in some degrees. Yeah, it is. But people forget about the other parts of the culture too that's been good. You know what I'm saying? There's produced a lot of good things in the culture. Now, I know a lot of people might go, oh, well, you know, there's a lot of conspiracy theories out there, and I ain't talking about that shit. Y'all can go look that up. But what I'm talking about, there's a lot of good in hip hop in itself and in Black culture. You know what I'm saying? They have more than just hip hop. You know, you have R&B, you have jazz, you have hell, back in our own state, we have our own music too. You know what I'm saying? You have Zydeco music, you have Black musicians, you have actual live instrument musicians and stuff like that that people listen to. So it just depends on what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? And podcasting is a form, you know, from our perspective, is part of Black culture too. So like
I will say this though. I will elaborate on what you just said earlier when it comes to the hip hop culture.
Right.
The
Don't forget about writers and everything else, not just people.
No,
people everyday life.
But here's the thing.
Go ahead.
Here's the thing I will say too. See, what hip hop culture needs to understand is this. You can't just be getting on there talking about bullshit.
Right. I agree.
And that's what I mean from when it first started. People were expressing themselves and really talking about what's going on in their neighborhood. Like, people, this is no joke. This is what we go through on a day-to-day basis. Then I believe when people started calling it trash was because people just came on there and started talking about bullshit that don't make no damn sense.
But it's only one part of it though. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I would say even some of the more popular artists, people will say, yeah, but they talked about X, Y, Z. You know what I'm saying? Some people will say that people like Jay-Z, people like Nas, people like Lil Wayne, people like 50 Cent, they've all talked about things that would be a negative to some people about the culture. And then to some degree, I can understand that. But you can, if you're going to say that about music, you got to say the same thing about watching TV, reading books, and any other form of entertainment that's out there that also talked about certain things that goes on in the city.
Especially when it comes to those books, because the last time I checked, there's some books that are banned that in schools that people don't want kids to be reading.
Now, I will say this. It is important to know that, yeah, music is powerful, right?
Right.
And I look at something like Gracie's Corner, right? Gracie's Corner is if anybody that knows about Gracie's Corner, is a great example of the positive sides of hip hop, right? You know what I'm talking about? Gracie's Corner is like a little kids learning show that uses, you know, hip hop music beats for them to learn how to learn their ABCs and 1, 2, 3s and everything else that, you know, toddlers should know. That's a good damn.
And monkeypox.
God damn. That motherfucking, hey man, you know. Let me step
Caesar is home.
But look, that's how I look at it, man. Look, you gotta look at the good parts too. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people nowadays only want to be negative about everything. They only want to find the bad parts of everything. When we have positivity, when we have positivity in hip hop, people don't want to hear that shit or they call it corny. You know? Let's be real. Like I would say Kanye West is probably one of the few people that can actually push out somewhat of a positive music in some regards. Like the Sunday service stuff was kind of positive. But that wasn't an actual album. That was more of something that was, like a side project that he pushed out. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't a mainstream effort.
Jesus Walks was a powerful song. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Jesus
Kanye
Walks
West's Jesus Walks, yeah, it was
Jesus
powerful.
Walks was a good song, but it was only one song out of many songs that he pushed versus all the many songs that he put out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like,
but it was a powerful song. I will give you that. Even though it was one song, it was a powerful song. It was.
True.
I'll say that.
But we look at people like Chance the Rapper, right? Chance the Rapper is looked at as a corny ass rapper. I don't hear nobody. The criticism that I hear from him, I just needed to make sense. Now, am I a fan of Chance the Rapper? Some of it, not all of it. Some of it is I can understand why they would say that.
Right.
But at the same time, I look at somebody who's more well known, like Nas. Nas had put out some great, dope, thought-provoking shit that make you think. Has Nas also talked about some hood shit also that would probably not be looked at as, something that's positive from coming up in the city or coming up from being a black young man like that? Yeah, I can agree to that. But also I look at it like this: you also got to teach people that's listening to these things. If you got your kids listen to certain things, you got to teach them what's the difference. You got to teach them that, hey, yo, this is just, this is just entertainment. Have that self-respect.
Please.
That's all I'm saying. But look, that's all I had to say on that. I feel like I can talk forever on that shit. Yeah. Any last words on anything that we talked about so far?
Moral of the story is, ladies and gentlemen, please don't piss off an elephant.
They don't.
You will get disrespected to the 10th degree.
Don't forget. Man, look, I feel the same way, man. Look, God forgives. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I feel the same way.
Apparently, elephants don't forget either. Apparently, elephants don't forgive either.
I'm kidding, man. Anyway, look, let's get into motherfucking hits, man. Motherfucking hits. For me, I'm a pull from the hip hop bag again. I'm pulling as an underrated great album is Scarface, Balls in My Word. And it's perfect because it talks about respect, at least as far as a album in general. That comes from they bite. I ain't gonna say they bite. They pull that whole type of name, and if you look at the cover image of the album, it's straight from Scarface that came out in the 80s, the movie. You know what I'm saying? And one of the things they talk about is respecting that motherfucker. But look, I love that album. I think that album is dope. If y'all ever get a chance to listen to it, if you haven't heard it, listen to it, take a listen, and let us know what y'all think in the comment section. We're gonna post about it on IG, and also on YouTube. E, you have a song, you have an album or song that you want to talk about as far as respect?
As far as respect wise, to be honest, I'm old school, so I'm gonna pull out my old school bag when I hear about respect. And even though she sung it,
You ain't talking about no Aretha Franklin, are you? Oh no, that ain't what you're talking about.
oh yeah, well here's
all right, go ahead.
You know what? But you know what, man? Like I said, I am old school.
Okay.
Because what it is, that song can actually go both ways if you really take the time to sit down and listen to it. Because as men, we need the respect as well too.
Okay.
Not just the women now. The men need the respect as well too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, think about how many nigga moments that could have been de-escalated if we were just showing each other the proper respect.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you do not know, please know. Boondock said it best. A private nigga moment just shames you. A public nigga moment shames the whole race.
Oh no, man, look, that's real though. It's like, look, sometimes you got to learn how to be calm in a situation. Be calm and not let nobody get you up out of your normal act and shit. Have some self-respect for yourself.
Please.
Don't let no sucker you know what I'm saying, play you. That's all I'm saying.
That's it. That's all I got.
Well, look, man, there it is. We got Scarface and we got Aretha Franklin. I ain't never think we had that combination on here. But look,
hey, this is a motherfucking podcast. We make any combination work.
But there it is, man. That's it for this episode. The 40th episode of the motherfucking podcast. Make sure y'all check us out on motherfucking IG. Check us out on IG, the MFN Pod. Also check us out on our website, motherfuckingpod.com. Get the motherfucking merch, get the hats, get the hoodies, get the shirts, get the dog tags, support the motherfucking crew, and join our Patreon account only for $1. You know what I'm saying? That's my dog, EJ the DJ, co-hosting on the show. I'm your host as well, Beanie Man, aka Mr. Headquarters, Bumbleclaw, you heard me? It's the motherfucking pod.
Yes, sir.